Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin our closing program. We kindly request everyone to come in and take their seats. Those outside, please do come in. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin our program. We kindly request all those outside to come in for the closing and take your seats. His Excellency Barrow Hassan, the State Minister for the Ministry of Transport and Logistics, Her Excellency Nardos Bekele Thomas, the CEO of Auda Nepad, Excellencies, Heads of Regional Economic Communities, Directors, Excellencies, Ambassadors, partners. We do have partners from JICA here with us. Distinguished delegates, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. 4 days of in-depth conversation, discussions to make the program for infrastructure development in Africa a reality is coming to a closing, which means it is the start for the actions. It means it is the beginning of implementing what we've discussed, what we've learned, what we've taken, and the main purpose of this conference. It is my great pleasure to proudly say Africa is truly proud of each and every one of you that have represented your nations to come, discuss, learn, share what you know, and plan together for a better Africa. I believe a warm applause is deserving to each and every one of you, so I do request that you do applaud yourselves for the work done in these 4 days. We do have a long way to go, but nonetheless, the discussions do show we are on the right path. It also shows that we do have strengths, opportunities, and challenges. Those strengths and opportunities, abilities, are what we will use together to get to those agendas being the reality of each African living on the continent. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I will call to the stage His Excellency Dr. Kazaura Kamugisha to share key messages. He is the Director of Infrastructure and Energy. Please help me welcome.
Thank you very much, Program Director. His Excellency, Honorable State Minister for Transport and Logistics of the Ethiopia and the Chair of the STC on Transport and Energy, Her Excellency, the CEO of Auda Nepad, distinguished representatives of the AU diplomatic the diplomatic community here in Addis Ababa, representatives of the regional economic communities, our dear partners, ladies and gentlemen. It is a bit of a challenge, I feel, for me to present the key messages arising of this 8th PIDA week. We have had more than 40 sessions which are taking place in plenary, in this hall and the other halls, sessions which are taking place in parallel, sessions which are taking place in the bilateral levels and also in closed settings. However, I have tried to summarize maybe about 7 or 8 key messages which kept coming up, reappearing, and being emphasized upon in the various discussions which were taking place from the different sessions on the 4 sectors of PIDA: transport, water, ICT, and energy. The first message is around financing. I really need not elaborate that any further. Financing is crucial for project preparation, project implementation, requirements of innovative financing, climate financing, blended financing, etc. We've listened to our partners who have presented the different financing options and the resources they have, which can be extended to support the implementation of PIDA and other regional priority infrastructure projects. I really have to say this. This morning I stepped in this room and there was a representative, I think, from the Asia Investment Infrastructure Bank. And he made a bold statement saying, I have the finances and I'm looking for projects. If this gentleman still has business cards, I'll be surprised. The next item on financing is financing is required both from public as well as private. We need to mobilize domestic as well as international financing. This is very crucial to be able to bridge the financing gap. We need to implement the PIDA projects as well as the other priority infrastructure projects in the region. Technical access, transfer, and adoption is also very critical, and it's been one of the key messages which has been echoed in most of the discussions we've been having and the conversations in the different sessions. In order to be able to implement some of these complex projects, we need the right or prerequisite technical as well as technical capacity building. The other item is on the harmonization of policy, standards, and regulatory frameworks at the continental and regional level to facilitate integration as well as implementation of these projects. The issue of gender inclusivity is very important to be considered in the infrastructure project ecosystem. Regional integration has been emphasized in most of the discussions which have been taking place in the last 4 days. The enhanced partnerships between the continental bodies, AUDA NEPAD, the AUC, the Pan-African institutions, African Development Bank, Afrexim Bank, ECA, the PIDA institutions, our regional economic communities, specialized agencies, as well as our partners who are supporting us in the implementation of PIDA is very crucial. The issue of climate resilient infrastructure. This was highlighted strongly in the opening statement and remarks which were made on the opening day. For most of the speakers, they touched upon that. We need to design our infrastructure so that it withstands the impacts of climate change. Digitalization cannot be overemphasized, but they will be captured and shared from all the different sessions which have taken place. I wish to take this opportunity maybe to inform. Next year, together with AUDA NEPAD, as well as the PIDA institutions, AFDB and ECA, will embark on the midterm evaluation of the PIDA PAP 2. All the discussions which took place, the recommendations which has been made through the different sessions which have taken place in the last 4 days will form as inputs when we are evaluating the implementation of the PIDA PAP 2 and preparing for the second part of implementation of the PAP 2. I wish to thank our partners and all infrastructure stakeholders who have joined us in this 8th PIDA week, but who have been supporting us all along in the implementation of PIDA. I wish also to take this opportunity to thank the PIDA institutions. Our PIDA PAP 2 executing agency, AUDA NEPAD, under the able leadership of Our Excellency Ambassador Nados Bekele, her team led by Director Amin, and everyone for the great work they've done in supporting or collaborating with the AUC, ECA, and FDB in organizing this 8th PIDA week. I thank the REX, all the partners, and all the stakeholders who have attended this PIDA week. With that, I submit the key messages from the 8th PIDA week, and I thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Doctor. And it seems the conference has made him even more active. He's just jumped off the stage. This shows the strength and readiness to turn the conversation into action. So please, warm applause once again for His Excellency Dr. Kazaura, who is the Director of Infrastructure and Energy. Ladies and gentlemen, to share with us the communique will be Mr. Amini Idris. Please help me welcome. He is the Director of Economy at AUDA NEPAD. And help me welcome Mr. Amin Idris.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to ask you to be with me because I'm supposed to read this, you know, so, which is the communique. But before to read, allow me to express actually my sincere thanks to the government of Ethiopia for welcoming us here for the PIDA week, and also to my colleagues, my team in AUDA NEPAD, all of them, who did not spare any effort to make sure that this is actually a successful journey. So let me start to read the communique. We ministers, African Union member states, delegates to the 8th PIDA week, the African Union Commission, AUC, the African Union Development Agency, AUDA NEPAD, the Regional Economic Communities, REX, the African Development Bank, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, ECA, and the PIDA partners, institutions and government, reaffirm the critical importance of quality, inclusive, and resilient infrastructure as a foundational catalyst for advancing the aspiration of Agenda 2063, the United Nations Agenda 2030, and fostering sustainable development across the continent. Underscore the fundamental significance of the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa, PIDA, as Africa's unique strategic framework and master plan, serving as the continental blueprint for achieving Agenda 2063's Goal 10 world-class infrastructure crisscrosses Africa. Welcome the address of Her Excellency Mr. Taye Atske Selassie, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and His Excellency Mr. Musa Faki Mohammed, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, during the opening ceremony of the week, emphasizing the importance of multi-stakeholder cooperation at all levels and innovative solutions in mobilizing adequate financing for developing resilient quality infrastructure to foster growth and regional integration across Africa. Commend the government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia for its capable and effective hosting of the 8th edition of PIDA Week, demonstrating the country's role model, leadership, and unwavering commitment to advancing regional infrastructure development and Africa's integration. Commend Her Excellency Dr. Amani Abu Zaid, Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy, and Her Excellency Mrs. Nardos Bekele Thomas, CEO of ODA NEPAD, for the leadership in advancing infrastructure development in Africa, in particular PIDA, in order to foster the regional integration and economic growth within the continent. Applaud the PIDA partners, development finance institutions, and stakeholders for their steady commitment to pushing PIDA forward, as illustrated by the joint ownership, exceptional turnout, participation, and fruitful reflection throughout the week. Note with appreciation the significant progress achieved in implementing PIDA as featured in the PIDA 10-year progress report. These include, among others, the successful organization of PIDA PAP2 project deal rooms at the second Dhaka Financing Summit in February 2023, and the subsequent tailored technical assistance provided by ODA NEPAD, supporting many of these projects to secure funding and in turn advancing through the project preparation cycle. Emphasize the critical role of the NEPAD Infrastructure Project Preparation Facility, NEPAD IPPF Special Fund, and the PIDA Service Delivery Mechanism SDM as crucial instruments for accelerating the bankability and financial close of regional infrastructure projects in Africa, and further commend the AUC or the NEPAD and AFDB for their myriad effort toward successfully advancing 11 PIDA PAP2 projects through the NEPAD IPPF Special Fund active pipeline. Call upon AUC, ODA NEPAD, AFDB, their RECs, along with the other regional organizations to build on this momentum for better Africa infrastructure development and integration. Reaffirm the need for diversified and innovative financing mechanisms such as PPP, impact investment, and blended finance schemes to mobilize resources effectively, and commit to prioritize this approach to enhance bankability of regional and continental infrastructure projects and attract more substantive private sector investment. Emphasizes the significance of enhanced project preparation and design process. Urge PIDA stakeholders to consider establishing robust bankable project pipeline to support investors' confidence and ensure sustainable financing commitments. Note the collective responsibility to mobilize public and private financing. Encourage member states to take the lead by setting clear terms of reference for support and consolidating smaller projects to attract private investment. The development of multi-phased, multi-country, long-term projects remain a strategic approach to ensuring sustainable financing alongside creating robust national investment plan to build a bankable project pipeline. Commit to explore innovative approaches, including using QDA to de-risk project and leverage PPPs alongside necessary sectoral reform. Underscore the significance of project preparation and partnership as fundamental to resource mobilization. Further stress the importance of enhancing multi-stakeholder cooperation. Reiterate the pressing need to reduce cost of capital to leverage infrastructure investment in Africa. Call for more integrated, concerted, multilateral effort to enhance the technical and financial capacity of member states to accelerate project preparation. Recognize the importance of leveraging ODA NEPAD's critical role in providing the envisaged technical support to navigate the shifting demands on financial market. Reaffirm the critical importance of sustainable and inclusive transboundary water resource infrastructure management. Underscore the urgent need to increase investment in the water sector at both national and transboundary levels. Note the joint responsibility of to mobilize more public and private financing favoring transboundary water projects by reconfiguring the narrative of this sector. Call upon all stakeholders for harmonizing WASH accounts for coordinated donor support. Cognizant of the adverse impact of climate-related disasters on economic resilience, water security, and energy supply, and the compelling need for adaptive and mitigation measures and cross-border collaboration, reaffirm our joint commitment to addressing the pressing challenges posed by climate change. Request AUC ODA NEPAD in collaboration with UNECA to strengthen RECs and regional institutions' capacity for more coordinated climate actions. Call upon AU member states to implement harmonized policies and legislative instruments to manage climate risk effectively in the transboundary projects. Cognizant of the intellectual property rights and local communities regarding infrastructure development, and mindful of the urgent need to include vulnerable groups and people with disability in infrastructure development, encourage member states and infrastructure project development to effectively use indigenous knowledge and learn from successful resilient development model in other regions. Urge all member states, development partners, RECs, and other stakeholders to intensify efforts towards sustainable climate resilient development and financing, including by leveraging domestic resource mobilization. Underscore the importance of digital infrastructure for regional integration and economic growth. Further, underscore the transformative potential, to the last page, transformative potential of technologies in improving the efficiency of transport infrastructure. Commit to prioritize the implementation of data centers, interoperable digital ID and ICT as foundational component of Africa's interconnected future. Considering the UN General Assembly declared Global Sustainable Transport Decade 2025-2035 emphasizes the need for robust regional collaboration, resource mobilization, and capacity building to integrate digitalization into sustainable transport initiative while ensuring climate resilience and inclusivity. Commend the ECA for its leadership in fostering dialogue on implementing the UN Decade for Sustainable Transport, and call upon ECA and ODA NEPAD to support member states in integrating digital solutions to address road safety and climate challenge, harmonize transport, innovative financing mechanism to unlock private sector investment. Note the importance of the Presidential Infrastructure Champion Initiative, PC, as the premier political steering platform for accelerating the relevant PIDA projects, and welcome the conclusion of the PC Technical Working Group session held during the 8th PIDA week. Further commend the commitment leadership of the Republic of South Africa as the PC chair. Take note of the proposal of organizing the PC presidential breakfast during the next session of the AU General Assembly in February 2025 in Addis Ababa. Call for expanded renewable energy source access and the availability of reliable power to support ICT infrastructure development and access across Africa. Commend ODA NEPAD and JICA for the successful launch of the report on OSBP status across Africa. Request the two institutions to propose and implement dedicated activities to further support OSBP. Commend ODA NEPAD and the CMP partners, Power Pools, Continental Power System Master Plan Power Pools, AFDB, BMZ, EU, Power Africa, USAID, Africa EU, Africa EU Energy Partnership, Agence Française de Développement, AFD, for the pre-launch of the Continental Power System Master Plan Phase 3. I thought it was the last connect. Call upon PIDA stakeholders and partners to support the Continental Power System Master Plan and the Africa Single Electricity Market. Commend AUC ODA NEPAD RECs Power Pool and member states to facilitate takeoff of the regional power market, electricity financial market, and carbon market within the framework of AFSEM and CMP. Call upon AUC ODA NEPAD, AFDB, ECA, the Agency of the Promotion and Development for the INGA project, ADPI, and the partners to mobilize needed resources to facilitate implementation of the Grand INGA project and expanding the strategic role and capacity of the coordination unit. Reaffirm the importance of rail infrastructure development to support the achievement of ACFTA objective, particularly funding the Africa Integrated Rail Network IRN project as an Agenda 2063 flagship project, call upon ODA, NEPAD, AFDB, UNECA, and partners to mobilize resources and implement technical assistance for region and countries for the speedy implementation of the IRN. Pilot project emphasize on the critical role of collaboration and stronger partnership, encourage REX and member states to the institutional regional economic development corridor to institutionalize the regional economic corridor authority to facilitate cooperation between neighboring countries, reaffirms its commitment to fostering an equitable and inclusive transition to green energy, recognize the critical role of the maritime industry in Africa's economic development, and the urgent need to align with global decarbonization goal, recommend AUC to set up a group to guide and coordinate shipping emissions reduction across the continent and to establish a continental maritime governance body. And last page, reaffirm its commitment in supporting the transformation of African port, call for enhanced collaboration among government, port authorities, regional organizations, and international partners to ensure successful integration of African port into sustainable logistics chain, not the slow pace of member states in taking advantage of the available offer of African Union on the development of national data policies, the challenges encountered by member states for the implementation of national data legislation, recommend the need for quicker implementation of national data policies in order for Africa to meet its strategic goal of a single African market, improve continental trade and non-stop border initiative, considering the African Union data policy framework's central role in implementing the Africa Digital Transformation Strategy, welcome the ODA NEPAD pilot project building capacity for data governance and cybersecurity of national and regional level. Request the agency to consider expanding the project intervention to the other member states and REX. Recognize the role of youth and micro, small, and medium enterprises in driving innovation and community-centered infrastructure development. Commit to create more opportunities for youth and MSMEs in infrastructure development through dedicated programs, training, and financial support. Call upon the African Union Commission to submit for adoption the outcome and recommendation of the 8th PIDA week to the upcoming session of the African Union Specialized Technical Committee on Infrastructure and Energy and the 26th AU General Assembly. We express our profound gratitude to His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali, Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, as well as the government and people of Ethiopia for their exceptional hosting and facilitation of the 8th PIDA week, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, 28 November 2024. Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you very much. It was long but important. And I am very glad both directors did not jump off of the stage. We need both energy and strategy. So that was raised by both directors. Please thank Director Amin Idris, who is the Director of Economy at ODA NEPAD. Please thank him one more time for me. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I will call the CEO of ODA NEPAD, Her Excellency Nardos Bekele Thomas. Please help me welcome.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon and good evening. Well, you're not saying anything, so you're tired, I know. And I blame Amin, because he came with how many pages of declaration? I mean, this is really something, you know. But it's also a sign that we had 38 sessions. And really, you know, there were so many things that happened, and deciphering and distilling the essential elements of that was really a big task. So thank you very much. I think I'll start really by thanking the government of Ethiopia for the hospitality, for the technical, financial, and logistical support to this event. Without the support of the government, this event wouldn't have happened. So I want to really say thank you. I would also like to thank the President, Ambassador Taye Azagasilase, and also the Minister and you, the Minister of State, for every support that you have given this event. And through you, I would also like to extend our gratitude to the Prime Minister and also to the Mayor of this city. We're truly grateful. I would also like to extend deep appreciation, a profound appreciation to all partners that have been here. Those that are here today, like the Japan and others, but also those that have left yesterday after the sessions and during the course of the day today, and those that joined us online. So, you know, really my deepest, profound gratitude to have traveled this journey with us all through. As we come close to this infrastructure event, the PIDA week, I would like also to take a moment to reflect on the past, how many days? 4 or 5 days. We have shared knowledge, ideas, and best practices in infrastructure development, and I believe we have all learned a great deal from each other. But most importantly, we have reinforced our partnership, our determination, and our commitment to work together to make sure that the dream of Africa and Africans becomes a reality. I would therefore like to extend my sincere gratitude to our speakers, panelists, and moderators for their insightful contributions. Your expertise, passion for infrastructure development have been truly inspiring. And this is going to go a long way along with us. I would also like to thank our organizers, the volunteers, for their tireless efforts in making this event a success. As we move forward, I hope we will continue to work together to build sustainable, resilient, and inclusive infrastructure that benefits our communities and supports our economic growth. Truly, it's not just a political engagement. It is really a transformative process. You know, infrastructure is no more like we used to have it, linking the extractive industries to the colonial powers. But it is a transformative process that connects each and every member states to make sure that we trade, you know, there is intra-African trade, but also to make sure that there is value addition, and everything that we do around infrastructure is to transform the lives of the people. PIDA Week, from what I have seen, has moved to a different level. First of all, the partnership has expanded. And we've seen many partners that were not there with us coming here and really being with us. So we have counted at least a minimum of 20 partners that participated effectively in this current PIDA week. In addition, private sector has been represented heavily. Private sector, both domestic and international. And I'm really encouraged to see our own African private sector having interest in these mega projects. And I guess, and I've been telling this to Amin and to also my brother, the Secretary General of AFCFTA, we need to really make sure that our private sector be strong, bold, decisive, and determined to really get engaged in mega projects like infrastructure. And we need to see on how we, with the member states, encourage our own private sector partners to be part of this whole infrastructure development. Whatever we do in terms of development in Africa, I want to tell you, is no more the development engagement that we see transaction. It's become more of investment deals. And therefore, we want more and more of our domestic private sector to join hands with the international ones and to adventure in these mega investments. Therefore, PIDA has become really, from what we see, the premier infrastructure investment platform. And I am so grateful. I'm very grateful to see this, and I want to thank, our partners, ADB, ECA, and all the regional economic communities, my own organization, and the army behind that organization, really. With little, we've been doing a lot, as well as, all the other partners that are here, strong partners, like, for example, with JACA and GIZ, we feel that they are part of us. We don't even see the distinction. So, all these partners that are there behind us, we want to thank them. And we want to say that, we have done a wonderful job. Congratulations to all. In an informal setting, during these last 4 or 5 days, we have concretized investment programs and projects and partnership deals. And we have some programs or projects, I shouldn't say programs, projects, my director always tells me that, investment projects that are really mature enough to be taken with us to the African Investment Forum in Rabat. And I want to say, team, congratulations for that. We have so much to do leading to the 2025 investment or financing forum, infrastructure financing forum. The venue will be announced at a later date. But certainly, this year's financing summit will see many of the projects concretized and a lot of the projects under pipeline. We will be working with the RECs, with our partners, and with the private sector to make this a reality. We want to move Africa from what it is today to what it wants to be tomorrow. We cannot deal and just attack the issues of yesterday and today, but we will anticipate what would be the obstacles and the shocks of tomorrow, and we will include those in our programs and make sure that we realize our dreams as we go on. We have also the director in the AUC, Sarwa, just mentioned that we will have a mid-year review of the PIDA next year. I guess the PIDA review, although he has said that it will be the PIDA institutions, the review should be the review by our people. It's going to be an African review of where we are and what we need to do. And in that, the private sector takes, a phone line, and we invite also the private sector to participate in this review. I think, these are the highlights of what had happened over the last four days, pages after pages of declaration. This declaration would be translated in terms of actionable programs and activities, and they would be part and parcel of the review of the PIDA, next year. So I want to say thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for your partnership, for your dedication, for your commitment, and together we will win. Amen.
Please, once again, do thank Her Excellency, Nardos Bekele Thomas, who is the CEO of the African Union Development Agency, 8th PIDA. I am so touched by her words, and not only touched, but I'm very happy at one specific point from her speech. As we said, working together will make this agenda a reality. Not only officials, but the private sector participating in an event like this, working towards this goal, is truly inspiring. Seeing different private sectors and private sector owners like Ovid Group, Mr. Jonas is here, I can see, who is one of the leading construction in Ethiopia, working in Africa and the Middle East. And I've seen another company that has come from Nigeria, I believe, which was truly impressive. They were sharing their work with me. I didn't catch their name, but I will definitely talk about you. And this private sector working towards this and being part of this is, as Her Excellency said, one of the ways to make this agenda a reality. So thank you very much for all the private sectors that are participating. But before I go to my next speaker, I believe the African Union's Development Agency, 8th PIDA, has done a truly remarkable job in preparing this event. So if you do agree with me, please do thank Her Excellency Nardos and her team that have made this a reality, making such a great event happen at this historic place, the African Union. We really want to thank you. Seeing the work that has been done at the end, and praising is easy, but we know it was not an easy job to do. So we thank you once again. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, to do the closing remark, please help me welcome His Excellency Mr. Bar'o Hassan, the State Minister for the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia's Minister of Transport and Logistics. Please help me welcome His Excellency Mr. Bar'o.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I will try to make my closing remarks very, very, very short, but our hearts will go wherever you go with you, because you make us very graceful in the first Ethio Green Mobility International Symposium and Exhibition. And the decision that made by Director Dr. Kadaura, Her Excellency Dr. Nardos Bekele, and other friends and leaders makes our event is to host in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, beautiful city of Addis Ababa. We are thanking you. And finally, hopefully, you will have a visit in Addis Ababa corridor tonight. And you will feel the real efforts that Ethiopian governments are trying to make our cities walkable, bikeable, and doable. So our efforts will give you an insight. In tomorrow morning, we will have a site visit on our first international green mobility exhibition, and then we will go through with railway corridor, and we'll see the infrastructures that are undertaking on dry ports and dry port infrastructures. Then you will have a full insights on our efforts, our government's insights. So, honorable ministers, directors, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the conclusion of the 8th African Infrastructure Development Program, PIDA Week, it is with immense gratitude and a profound sense of accomplishment that I address you all today. Over the past few days, we have gathered under the inspiring theme, fostering resilient and inclusive infrastructure for Africa's sustainable growth, leveraging transformative financing and regional integration. This theme has indeed encapsulated our collective aspirations and underscored the urgency of our mission in addressing the evolving challenges that Africa faces. We have had the privilege of witnessing the exchange of insightful perspectives, innovative solutions, and best practices that will undoubtedly shape the future of our continent. The discussions and collaborations forged here will serve as a cornerstone for our continued efforts in transforming Africa's infrastructure landscape. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on the deliberations of this week, it is evident that the development of resilient infrastructure is paramount. The recent global challenges have reinforced that the need for systems that are robust, adaptable, and inclusive. Our infrastructure must serve all segments of society, particularly the marginalized communities, to ensure holistic and equitable growth. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the path ahead is paved with both challenges and opportunities. To realize our vision, we must continue to advocate for policies that facilitate seamless movement of goods, services, and people across our nation. We must also diversify our funding sources, leveraging public-private partnerships and innovative financing mechanisms to bridge the investment gap. In closing, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the distinguished delegates, speakers, and participants for your unwavering commitment to this essential cause. Your contributions have been invaluable, and your dedication is the driving force behind our collective success. Let us leave this gathering with renewed determination to redefine Africa's infrastructure landscape and pave the way for sustainable development that leaves not one behind. With this, I declare the 8th PIDA Week closed. I thank you.
We thank His Excellency, Mr. Bar'o Hassan, who's the State Minister for the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia's Ministry of Transport and Logistics. We will do a picture here, so I would like to ask everyone in front to come to the front to do the picture. I am very excited about the next part of our program, so do stay with us in just a few minutes, and I will tell you what is happening next. our partners from GIZ as well. If you're here, please do join us for the picture. Our other partners as well. Next up is more photos. One second, and I'll share the next part of the program that I'm excited about. Will be the city tour as a continent. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to experience and visit the city that has just won the 2024 Smartest City competition in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, with the vision of His Excellency, the Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, and a true commitment, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, you will also finish or end the tour at Adwa Memorial Museum, an uncolonized nation. And become a beacon of light for their African brothers and sisters to let them know together nothing can stop us. Adwa is a reminder that this continent is truly a force not to mess with. Rest of the tour, we will head out to